A good leader, a successful leader, when others are asleep, you are still at work, but you are working on your knees. You are working in prayer. If you're going to be successful in 2017, while others are sleeping, you've got to be praying. If you don't pray, you will never succeed. And so Joshua went out in the night, scoping out Jericho. And as he looked at Jericho, he said, it's impossible. The Israelites' army is inexperienced. How can we take Jericho? He stood there praying and meditating. Lord, how can we take Jericho? The watchmen on the walls are alert. The armies inside the city equipped. How can we take Jericho? And suddenly, I can imagine Joshua became discouraged and discouraged. We can't take Jericho. And then suddenly, the Bible says suddenly, a voice said to Joshua, lift up your eyes. Lift up your eyes. In 2017, sometimes you'll feel down. Sometimes you'll feel depressed. Sometimes you'll feel stressed. But always remember that you've got to learn to lift up your eyes. David said, I look unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. Lift up your eyes. When Joshua lifted up his eyes, lift up your eyes. In other words, Joshua, the solution to this problem cannot be found around you. You've got to look up for the solution. In youth ministry, the solution to the problems you will find is not by looking and talking with some folks. It's not by just looking around and see where you can find help. You've got to look up to the Lord. When Joshua looked up, I'm going to close now. When Joshua looked up, he saw a man standing with his sword drawn. In other words, he saw a mighty warrior set for battle. Joshua, encouraged and filled with braveness, he rushed up. Who are you? Are you for us or for our adversaries? And the man with a sword drawn, he said, nay, but as captain of the Lord's host am I now come. Now understand this. The Lord appeared as a mighty warrior set for battle. Now this confuses me sometimes. I expected God to appear with a Bible in his hands. I expected him to appear with a crown on his head in a white robe. But God appeared as a mighty warrior set for battle. God, why you appeared like that? God will tell you that I always appear in the form best suited for the occasion. When Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden, God appeared. I said God appeared as a loving father. When Moses was running from Pharaoh, God appeared as a burning bush. When Ezekiel needed encouragement, God appeared as a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When the wine ran out at Canaan, God appeared as the great provider. When the woman spent all her money, got no cure, God appeared as the great physician. When Mary and Martha were crying over their dead brother, God appeared as the resurrection and the life. And when Joshua needed encouragement, God appeared as a mighty warrior. God always appears in the form best suited for the occasion. And one day, don't worry about Trump. One day, don't worry about Iran. One day, in the midst of great tribulations, God will appear as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He always appears in the form best suited for the occasion.